Good evening and welcome to the May 3rd Council meeting. If you'd please stand, Councilman Walt Pocock's going to lead us in the flag salute.
Please face the flag and put your hand over your heart and follow me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. We have a special presentation this evening. I'd like to call up Andrea Garcia's family, please, to join me. Please come up. First, as a council, we are devastated to announce that we're going to begin tonight's meeting honoring the life and memory of one of our very own, the City of Chino employee, Andrea Garcia. Andrea, or Dre, as everyone affectionately called her, came to the City of Chino in 2006 with the Community Services Department. In 2008, Dre joined the Development Services Department as a switchboard operator and rose through the ranks, achieving the title of Code Compliance Technician in 2021. Dre's position always required her to be outward-facing. She constantly engaged members of the public that came by the Development Services counter, and it was in these interactions that she displayed her kindness, integrity, sense of humor, professionalism, and grace, all attributes of her strong character and a reflection of her commitment to our community. Dre had been courageously battling breast cancer for many years, but for the same number of years, despite these incredibly challenging circumstances, Dre summoned the remarkable strength to continue to fight and serve our community until God called her home this past Saturday, April 30th. Dre is survived by her 2 children, ages 7 and 9, 3 sisters, 1 brother, her parents, and her extended family. Our prayers go out to her family during this very, very difficult time. She will be incredibly missed by the entire Chino family, and we're going to adjourn tonight's meeting in her memory. All those wishing to provide support to Andrea's family may do so by visiting a GoFundMe page that's been created at cityofchino.org/Andrea Garcia. I'd like to present the family with a little plaque that we have in her memory. We'd also like to present you with some beautiful flowers. I'd like to call for a moment of silence in Andrea's behalf. Andrea was a very special person to our community, and she is going to be really, really missed. Would you like to say a few words?
Hi, my name is Joanna. I am her sister. We would like to thank everybody, council, the city staff. You guys have become more than just coworkers. You guys are now our family. And we really appreciate everything you've done for us. Dre loved working here. She loved coming to work every day. And I know everyone's gonna miss her high heels running past us all because she forgot to put the mail in the box. But we'd like to thank you all in behalf of our family. You guys have all been very great to us. Thank you.
Well, we want you to know that she will always remain in our hearts. We're going to show a brief slideshow about Dre, so we will be recessing for a short bit after that. Thank you very much. We're so sorry. I'd like to ask for a report out of closed session, which was held before the council meeting started.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the council, and all those in attendance. The City Council met in closed session and held a discussion on the two items listed on the closed session portion of the agenda, beginning with item number 1, conference with real property negotiator concerning the properties at 12931, 12931, 12921, and 12923 Central Avenue, with the negotiating party being Chung Soo Yi and Randy K. Yi. City Council received an update to the status of those negotiations, provided direction, and no further reportable action was taken. On item number 2, conference with legal counsel, one item of anticipated litigation under the heading initiation of litigation. The City Council held a discussion, and following the discussion by motion of Mayor Ulloa, seconded by Council Member Comstock, carried 5-0. The City Council directed the City Attorney to initiate legal action to challenge Monte Vista Water District's adoption of a mitigated negative declaration for activation of latent sewer collection services authority project based on CEQA and duplication of services and related issues. That concludes the report out of closed session. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much. Next on the agenda is public announcements. First, I want to encourage everyone to come out for the annual Chino Bike Day on Saturday, May 14th at Ayala Park near the Chino Valley YMCA at 5575 Edison Avenue from 7:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. All participants will be able to enjoy a bike safety workshop, bike obstacle courses, a community bike ride, as well as kids' activities and crafts. For more information, please contact the Carolyn Owens Community Center at 909-334-3258. Also happening the same weekend is the Chino Valley Historical Society's 95th Annual Pioneer Picnic on Sunday, May 15th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Chino Community Building located at 5443 B Street. In keeping with the spirit of being a community event, this will be a potluck. So please bring your favorite entrees, side dishes, or desserts to share, along with your own plates and utensils. Also, while enjoying great food and company, all participants will be able to listen to the Chino Valley historian, Paul Spitzeria, Spitzeri, okay. Paul, who will be able to tell stories about our community's rich and strong history. For additional information, please contact the Old Schoolhouse Museum at 909-334-3278 or email to schoolhousemuseum@cityofchino.org. Now, the next item on our agenda is public communication. This is the time and the place for the general public to address items that are not elsewhere on the agenda. Our first written request to speak is Pastor Lon Wagner from Crosspoint Community Church. I'd like to invite all of those who would like to participate in an invocation to please stand.
Thank you for inviting me to come here tonight. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the many ways that you bless this community, this place called Chino. Thank you for the families that call Chino home. Thank you for our schools, which are preparing that next generation to take their places of leadership in this community. Thank you for the businesses that play such an important role in the fabric of this community. Thank you for the faith communities, which remind us that true life is found beyond what we can hear and what we can see. Thank you for our first responders, whether they be police or firefighters or medical professionals, and how we see them placing other needs before their own. Thank you for our city government officials, our mayor, our council members, and the others who work so hard to make this community in which we live so it can thrive. I pray specifically tonight for those who govern this community and ask that you would empower them to make wise and godly decisions which are in the best interest of the community. I pray that you would bless them. I pray that you would provide the resources necessary for a flourishing community where people feel safe, where businesses thrive, where neighbors create deep connections, and where we seek each other's good. I pray all of this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Next written request to speak is Linda Flathers, and she's going to be talking about the Chino Valley Historical Society and pronounce Paul's name correctly.
Thank you, Mayor Yoloa and members of the council. I am currently the president of the Chino Valley Historical Society, and I'm here this evening to invite you all to the Pioneer Picnic, the 95th Pioneer Picnic, which should be the 97th Pioneer Picnic. However, 2 years of hiatus for coronavirus kept us from all meeting together. We will be meeting on Sunday, May the 15th. The doors will open at the Chino Community Center, or the community building, at 11 o'clock. We encourage you to come early to get your seat. And it will be a potluck, so please bring a dish to share and your utensils as well. We will have our guest speaker is Paul Spitzeri. He is kind of a tongue twister, actually, Paul. He's the museum director of the Workman and Temple Family Homestead Museum, which is located in the City of Industry. He is a resident of the Sleepy Hollow community in Carbon Canyon, and he is a wonderful speaker, very dynamic, very well read, and very knowledgeable about the Chino Valley. So we are looking very much forward to introducing Paul to the Chino community. He is very well known in Chino Hills. Again, I want to invite the council and the community to come out and join us for a luncheon that day and reconnect with your family and your friends and your neighbors and your schoolmates and just enjoy the day.
Thank you very much, Linda.
And I'll send over.
Next request is Rick Nash.
Good evening, Council, Madam Mayor, and all attendants. I just want to come and express my thankfulness to the City of Chino for the years that I've been here and the continuity of compassion and kindness that they have fomented or fostered and the facilities which they have rendered to those who are rendering aid and assistance to those in need of help. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Those are the only written requests to speak that I have. Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to address the council on an item that's not on the agenda? It looks like we have a student in the audience. Are you here for a class assignment?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like you to come up and introduce yourself and tell us the school you're attending.
Hello, everyone. My name is Robert Reed, and I live in Chino. And I'm currently going to Cal Poly Pomona. And so I'm here on an assignment for my public administration class. And I'm actually not a historian, but a history major.
Oh.
And public administration really interested. It was something that I found really interesting. And so I really wanted to pursue it and see exactly where public administration really lies and the roles they play in providing public services and really serving the community. And so it's a pleasure to be here, and this is actually my first time coming to a council meeting, so this is a great experience. So thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us this evening, and maybe you can get some information from Linda right there, and since you're involved in history, you can attend the Pioneer Picnic.
I'll make sure to go.
I don't see any other students in the audience. Are there any? Apparently not. Okay. We'll move on to the consent calendar. We are going to pull item number 2 as I was absent from that meeting, so I would entertain a motion for the balance of the consent calendar. There's a motion from Mayor Pro Tem Lucio, second from Councilmember Flores, and consent calendar passes unanimously. Now, item number 2. Entertain a motion in a second. Motion from Councilmember Comstock, second from Mayor Pro Tem Lucio. And the item passes 4 yes with 1 abstention, that being myself. Next on the calendar, or the agenda rather, is new business. Item number 7, cooperative agreement for East End Avenue rehabilitation. Consider establishing a capital improvement project, R7221, and approve a cooperative agreement with the County of San Bernardino County for the East End Avenue Rehabilitation Project. Staff report this evening will be provided by our CIP Engineering Manager, Maria Frazier.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, council members, and audience. The item for your consideration tonight is the approval of a co-op agreement with the County of San Bernardino to rehabilitate the paving along East End Avenue from Chino to Grand. It's approximately 1.95 miles. The co-op agreement outlines the responsibilities and the obligations of each of the agency. The rehabilitation will be achieved by grind and overlay of the existing paving, and the County of San Bernardino will be the lead agency. The total cost of the project is estimated to be about $2.3 million, and Chino's estimated share is approximately $188,000, which is about 8.2% of the total cost. This concludes my report, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Maria, did you say that East End Avenue goes all the way to Grand?
Yeah, and that's into like Pomona area.
So from Grand south?
Yes, Grand South.
Okay, because we have another Grand at the other end. I was going to say it doesn't go that far. Okay, starting at Grand. Okay, any questions on the project? Walt?
Thank you, Maria. I just have one question on the contingency of $235,000. That's an estimated extra cost to the project?
Yeah,
And-
the agreement allows for 25%, and that's very common of these kind of agreements, in case you have unforeseen situations or quantities, sometimes you have to adjust.
But it could be substantially less than that, right?
Yeah, it will be at a minimum about 188.
Okay, thank you.
And again, it's all based on estimates, and as you know, paving and cost of construction are going about 30% higher, so we'll see where that ends.
Karen, did you have something?
Thank you, Mayor. Maria, we've sat in quite a few infrastructure meetings at this point and streets meetings. I just want to thank you. I know we talked about the city is preparing some of the slurry projects, so East End actually happened to come up. I've had some people speak to me about the condition of Chino Avenue and Schaefer and a few others. Coincidentally, this happened to come up with the county while we were talking about the slurry project, so thank you for working with the county on that. I know a lot of residents are going to be happy to see us sharing, co-oping with the county to help rehab some of those streets, and just let some of our residents know that some of the additional rehab to East End and some of our city areas hopefully is coming soon with additional projects. So just thank you, and I look forward to seeing the work done. So
You're welcome.
Maria, I have a question. Much of East End Avenue is unimproved. There's no sidewalks, there's no curbs, there's no gutters. We have had extreme costs charged or caused by the city of Chino in implementing ADA. How does ADA affect areas like this that are completely unimproved?
In this particular area, it doesn't trigger ADA because we don't have basically areas where you have a path of travel, but persons with disabilities are allowed to use the street as a path of travel. In most of these areas that the county is improving right now, even though they're doing grind and overlay, like you mentioned, there's no sidewalks, there's no curb and gutter, so it doesn't trigger having to construct additional facilities. And so they're able to do this without adding additional accessibility.
Oh, okay, okay. I was just curious because we've had to spend so much money complying with ADA. I was wondering, it would just be enormous if it was triggered along that long street that's not improved at all. Okay, thank you very much. With that, then, I would entertain a motion in a second. Motion from Councilman Flores, second from Mayor Pro Tem Lucio. Item passes unanimously. And once again, Maria is going to provide the next report. Item number 8, appropriation of funds, MS 181, FY 2021-22 local street overlay, Tron Keel to 16th, 17th, and 18th. This is to appropriate the funds to the project number MS 181 and approve change order number 1 to contract number 2022-259 with PALP doing business as Excel Paving to include an additive alternative bid item. Maria?
The second item for your consideration tonight is the approval of an appropriation of Measure I funds to increase the budget for MS 181 and approval of a contract change order to Excel Paving. This project was awarded back in February 15th to Excel Paving to construct the improvements, which consist of paving resurfacing by grind and overlay methods, sidewalk ramps, curb and gutters, paving markings, and striping. And this is all to happen on Serene between Benson Avenue and all the way to the end of Serene, which is east of 18th Street, and 16th, 17th, and 18th Streets between Serene Avenue and Tranquil Avenue. This project will construct new curb and gutter and sidewalks along 18th Street, and that combined with the state of the street and the condition that it is in right now, it makes it very difficult to repair the paving by grind and overlay methods. So a bid alternate had been included in the bid package to reconstruct 18th Street. And it was staff's intentions to recommend that for award. However, this particular item was left out unintentionally. So the additive scope of work that we're coming with for you tonight is really necessary on 18th Street in order to be able to reconstruct the street properly. So this, it's a staff recommendation. The council approves the staff report with the recommendations indicated, and that completes my report, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, then I would entertain a motion in a second. Motion from Councilman Flores, second from Mayor Pro Tem Lucio. Item passes unanimously. Next item on the agenda is mayor and council reports. Mine's going to be really short this evening. You probably noticed that I'm in a walker right now, training for two-wheel walker races. Decided there's something I can do.
I thought you said it was Mount Everest, Mayor.
Well, Mount Everest is later. No, but seriously, I had a hip replacement a week ago today. So over the last several weeks, I was staying kind of close to home and going to a whole bunch of doctor's appointments. I don't have a lot to report this evening, except I want to thank everybody for the flowers, the well wishes, the prayers, the cards, the meals, the sweets, stuffed animals, and everything. I mean, everyone has shown so much kindness. I just really appreciate it, and thank you all. Mayor Pro Tem Lucio.
Yes. I just wanted to see if either Dennis or Nick could talk to me a little bit about the intersection, the sensors at Spectrum West and East and Rincon Meadows and Kimball. I know that they're damaged. I was just wanted to know how long they've been damaged.
Actually, Councilmember, I have an update. I spoke to our traffic manager, Dennis Rawls, later this afternoon, and they have been damaged for a while. We talked about some alternative methods to correct those in a rather speedy manner. So, yeah, I'll have they'll be corrected. They'll be addressed a lot quicker than anticipated.
Okay, it's just, I'm starting to see residents run those lights because they're getting frustrated that it has to cycle through, I guess it's certain streets that it goes through that there's no traffic, and they're sitting there waiting and waiting, traffic's backing up, and now people are starting to run signals on Edison, which is obviously a major thoroughfare, and then same thing on Kimball. I'd rather have them fixed and avoid potentially an accident happening in those areas than leaving them up to the contractor to do.
And that's what's going to be done.
Okay.
Thank you.
And, okay, to go on to my report on 420, I attended the fire quarterly meeting with the fire chief and a couple of the board members. On 420, I also attended a subcommittee meeting for the city manager with the mayor and interim Anthony Arroyo, our interim city manager, as well as our consultants. On 421, I attended the governing board's meeting that was held at the Chino Airport. It was the first one I've ever attended, but it was some good information on some of the things that's going on in the airport. Obviously, they covered all the airports from San Bernardino County, but there's some construction that they have that they want to move forward with on the Chino Airport, and it's good to see that they're actually starting to do some improvements on that airport. On the 23rd, I attended the Corporate Challenge opening ceremonies. We didn't have as many teams as we did the year before. Hopefully next year we have more teams, but it was a good turnout. People were excited. People were excited to get together and compete, and it was really fun to kick it off. On the 23rd, I attended the corn feed run. It was a great turnout. Walt, you did an outstanding job. It was the best I've seen so far. But the greatest thing about what happens is it's one of the iconic events that happens here in the city, but we don't ever have any issues. And when you have events like that or events where a lot of people are there, generally they bring along problems, but I've never seen an issue or a problem at our corn feed runs or a lot of our city events, and that goes for our community, the people that attended, and just the overall atmosphere. It's a family atmosphere, and it just was a great turnout. On 425, I attended a meeting with the city manager. On 425, we also had a Chino Airport discussion. One of the individuals that we met with wants to construct some hangars, so we discussed that with him. On the 25th, I attended another subcommittee meeting with the mayor regarding the city manager. And we got some good candidates, and we're looking forward to doing some pre-interviews coming up. On the 26th, I attended an investment committee meeting with our finance director and our city manager. And on the 27th, I attended a Girl Scout troop meeting. The Girl Scouts over in Chino Hills needed to have some government officials attend one of their meetings for their government badge, and it was great to see just the way they get along. I mean, they have all the range of ages. And one of the things that I posed to them was I asked them, similar to what Chris here asked at the last meeting. I asked them who was a leader, and all of them had their hands down. And then I told them, you guys are all leaders. And one of the things I've told my kids, especially my daughters, is that the workforce that they're going into now is going to be a lot different than the workforce that I grew up in. The workforce I grew up in 30 years ago, the county of Los Angeles, was run by 5 board of supervisors. 4 of them were male. 1 was a female. The CEO of the county was a male. And if you look at it now, all 5 Board of Supervisors are females. The CEO is also a female. If you start looking at our congressmen or congresspersons, predominantly they're starting to be female. For every 4 people that go to college, 3 are female, 1 is a male. So one of the reasons I sent my girls to all-girls Catholic school was not because I was overprotective, but it was because I wanted them to learn to, 1, get along with other women, because that's going to be their competition when they get older. But 2, learn how to work with women, because the reality is, the way it looks is the leaders of tomorrow's workforce will be women. And I mean, there's articles that are written about whether or not we're raising our boys to be men. So, you know, having 4 little guys or 4, you know, under the age of 18 males at home, it's a challenge I make to myself to make sure that I get them ready to be leaders and to step forward. And Karen can attest, the last time we had a government day here, for the most part, everybody that was here was a female, except for 2 males. So, you know, I told them, you know, you guys need to, you know, learn from working with your fellow Girl Scouts. You need to work together with them, because in the future you will be the leaders. And unfortunately, it looks like our males we're gonna start taking a step back unless we start changing the mentality of our boys. But it was great. It was a great turnout for them. There was a lot of girls there, but they were really receptive to that. And I look forward to seeing what this next generation brings. And on the 2nd of May, I attended another meeting with the city manager. And then on the 2nd of May, I also attended a meeting with Sonia Shaw, who's running for school board. And on the 2nd, we attended a meeting with Raul Caro, myself, and Councilmember Comstock regarding St. Margaret and Mary. And one of the things that kind of resonated with me is I am Catholic, and they came to us and they said, what can the Catholic Church do to get more involved in the community? And some of the things that we told them was, you know, come here to the city council meetings, ask to do an invocation, come to the mayor's prayer breakfast and meet with us. It's, you know, a lot of the Christian churches come out. A lot of the, you know, we even have different religions. We have Mormons that come out. We have different denominations of religions that come and meet with us. But the one we don't ever have is the Catholic Church. And they said that they were eager to get more involved in the community, and that they definitely would be attending some of those functions. So I look forward to that, especially being Catholic. I'd like to see, you know, my religion start taking a more active role within the community. That's all I have as far as meetings I attended, but I do want to say Andrea Garcia, she was, I believe, 32 years old. That's it's approximately the same age as my stepdaughter, and it's so young, you know. And I know to some people that are younger, they don't realize how young that is, but that truly is young. And you know, we're just starting to live in our 30s, and to have her taken away that quickly is just really a shame. It breaks my heart. Our prayers, my family, my wife and I, and all our kids are with her and her family. This is definitely difficult, especially knowing that she left 2 young kids. But it's heartbreaking, and I just wanted to mention her in my comments. I'm truly, truly heartbroken over this tragedy. And on a lighter note, I do want to congratulate my middle daughter. She will be graduating from the University of Dallas on the 15th, so I'll be flying down to Texas to go see her graduate. She's graduating with a biology degree, and she's already been accepted in nursing school, and she'll remain in Texas. And as some of us parents know, you know, we're just waiting for those days that we count off that they're no longer in college, and then we can start moving on to the younger kids. So 2 are down, and now I got 4 more to go. But with that, I just want to end my comments and thank you. And by the way, I just want to wish all the mothers happy Mother's Day on Sunday, especially my wife. She's a great mother, a great partner, and I don't know where I'd be without her. But happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Thank you.
Your comments about Dre were perfect. It's also a horrible reminder of how tragic cancer is, especially breast cancer, which if caught early enough, has a good chance of being cured. You know, it's a tragedy to see a family affected at that young age. Now, on a lighter note, you made your comment about how talking to the Girl Scouts, you wanted to challenge like Chris did. I thought you were going to challenge him to boxing. Like he did the city manager. I thought, oh my gosh.
He knows that way about
But good comments about boys and girls. It's very, very true. Not too many male figures are stepping up anymore. I think the term used to be man up, right? Yeah, it's tough. Councilmember Comstock.
Thank you, Mayor. On April 21st, I also attended the Airport Commission meeting at the Plains of Fame Museum, which has already been covered by the Mayor Pro Tem. On the 23rd of April, I attended the Corn Feed Run, the biggest and best yet. Thank you, Walt. There's already been comments about that. My dad and I attended. We saw a bunch of great cars and a bunch of good Chino people. It's always nice to go to that car show. I think it's probably one of the biggest and best in Southern California. Now, Walt, thanks not just to you, but also the Chino Kiwanis and a lot of people that volunteer out there that day to make it a great event. Virtually no problems, just a great day for people. I wasn't able to attend Corporate Challenge opening ceremonies that morning, but I know we've been, Team Chino has been competing fiercely, so thank you to all the community services employees who are running and operating Corporate Challenge this week with all of our, City of Chino Hills and Husband and NFI, I believe, are competing, so that's, ongoing. On the 25th, I attended the last portion of also the Chino Airport discussion that was mentioned here earlier. I missed my one-on-one with the city manager that morning because of a calendar conflict. But then at 11 a.m., I attended a meet and greet with our new representatives from TNT Fireworks. The fireworks season is quickly approaching. When I used to work at the PD, it gave me actually a nervous twitch when the fireworks booths came up and they started, appearing all over the city. I want to say we have 26 booths in town, and I happen to like fireworks, but I know a lot of people are conflicted about them, and there's no middle ground on them. Either you love fireworks or you don't like them. I just want to encourage everybody to do safe and sane fireworks and attend the city professional show that'll be coming up here in the next couple months, and to leave the illegal ones alone. Enough of that right now, because more is to come on that later. And then later that day, Mayor, at 3 p.m., I attended the budget subcommittee meeting with you here in staff at City Hall. On the 27th, I Zoomed the West End YMCA board meeting here from City Hall. And then on the 2nd, May 2nd, that moves me into May now, I attended my one-on-one with the city manager here at City Hall. I also met with members from St. Margaret's Church who, as the Mayor Pro Tem expressed, want to become more involved in our community, and we strongly encourage them. There is a large Catholic community here in Chino, so it would be nice to see more of the priests and the members of our Catholic community be present. We also encourage them to attend the National Day of Prayer, Mayor, so hopefully we'll see them there. And then, of course, today I attended a closed session with the rest of the council. I just want to echo my comments to the Garcia family. I had a chance to express my sympathy to them prior to the meeting starting. I worked with Andrea as an employee of the city of Chino for many years. I didn't realize she was that ill, so it makes me sad. I was happy to see a lot of our employees here tonight, her coworkers here tonight, to support her and her family, and just seeing the grief of her mom and her family. And it's just hard. So our prayers and our thoughts go out to her family. And Anthony, a nice compliment to you. When I was speaking with her sister, she paid you and our HR staff just the highest compliments for helping them. So thank you, and just continue to support them in any way. Mayor, for you, we wish you a speedy recovery. I reached out to you, and I'm happy that you're well and that your surgery went great. So we're grateful that the doctors were able to, replace that hip of yours, and I'm sure you'll be climbing Mount Everest soon. And I'm going to wish all the moms like the Mayor Pro Tem did as well, Happy Mother's Day, and especially to my mom, Christine. Part of the reason I'm the person I am is because of my mother and my father's influence to me, but certainly my mom. So that concludes my report, Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Karen. Councilmember Flores.
Hi, everyone. I have a community support contribution item on the agenda.
Yes.
So I'd like to, before the council tonight, recommend approval of community support fund contribution to Rancho del Chino Rotary Club in the amount of $250.
Okay, entertain a motion and a second. There's a motion from Mayor Pro Tem Lucio, second from Councilmember Comstock. Please vote, and the item passes. I'm tongue-tied tonight. Item passes unanimously.
So I'm going to start with my comments. On April 20th, I attended the mayor's prayer breakfast. And, that day we had the opportunity to pray for the Garcia family. So I got to say thank you to Anthony as well for bringing that up in front of some of our church leaders here in the community. And it was a special prayer. On the 23rd, I, along with some of the council, attended the corn feed run. Had an amazing time, had a great day, and had a chance to volunteer with Kiwanis and get some of my, put my body on the line for Kiwanis from early in the morning. And I got to say, as I mentioned last time, living on 7th Street is probably the best street to live on in Chino. I was beautifully awakened by some cars, right, parked in front of my house. I have some good footage of that, but it was a pretty sweet day that day. On the 26th, I, along with Mayor Pro Tem Mark Lucio, attended the investment committee meeting. On the 2nd, just yesterday, I had a meet and greet with Sherry Rodello and Golden Bear Towing, it's a new towing company here within our city. Kind of took over the Rodello, the Rodello business, and so we welcome them, and we know that you're going to carry the torch. And let's see, I too want to wish everyone, all the mothers, a happy Mother's Day. To my mother, I know she's watching right now. I didn't know till a couple meetings ago that she actually watches our council meetings now. She tells me that the only time she ever gets to see me now is really in front of the camera. So I just want to wish you a happy Mother's Day, Mom, in advance. And that's it. So I got to make an effort to go visit my mother more often.
Yes, you do. The only way she sees you is on TV. You need to get over there.
Shame on you.
I know.
Go see your mother.
I like to.
See her.
Yeah.
She lives far away. She's preserved.
Yeah.
In the preserve, yeah. And I guess to end my comments, I'd want to say, just Mayor Eunice, whenever you're ready to go on the Mount Everest trip, let me know. I think I'd like to hike up there with you.
All right. I really don't think I'm going to be doing that, but that's okay.
Wait, I'm sorry, one last thing. Last time I proposed the question, right, about the color of the old Chino sign over on Riverside and Central. I got to say a huge shout out to Kerry Cisneros. He happened to post that question on the Facebook group page, and I got a lot of comments, I got a lot of likes, and the verdict kind of is between green and blue, and so that's just an update for you guys, and yeah, that's it.
Okay, thanks, Chris. Councilmember Pocock.
Well, thank you. On the 21st, Rob Burns, Director of Finance, took me on a tour of his vast offices up there, and what a project. I mean, what an organization he has going up there. It's really interesting. I really appreciate that, Rob. And on the 23rd, I also attended the corn feed run, and it was quite a success. And it was a team effort. We had a huge team from the Kiwanis Club, and we had a lot of volunteers, including Councilman Flores and Public Works, Police Department helped out, and it was a great event. We had more cars than we've ever had, 1,023 cars. We estimate 10 to 12,000 people walked through that day, and we had trucks, semi-trucks, motorcycles, food, music. It was just a great day for everybody, and the weather was beautiful, thank God. On the 2nd, with Councilman Flores, we had a 2-on-1 with John Monroe, and he's going to try to make a run for school board. And then on the 2nd, I also went to last night, bingo at the Rancho del Chino Rotary. I don't know what the date was yesterday. And regarding Andrea Garcia, every time I came to the planning department, I walked by her office, she always had something really nice to say, really cheerful and cordial. And She's been taken way too soon. I'd like to wish them a happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that are out there that are listening and in the audience. And Thursday, I believe, is the National Day of Prayer here at City Hall out here on the lawn. I'm not sure the time it starts, but it's
Noon.
noon. So you're all welcome to come to the National Day of Prayer. It's quite an event. And to the mayor, I'm glad you got through your surgery well, and you're looking good and getting around good. Good to see a smile on your face. So, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
That concludes my comments.
You know, the Corn Feed Run show, I was there. I was able to go, thanks to Brenda. She picked me up and delivered me, and then got down to where Bob's car was. I couldn't walk around and look at everybody this year, which was really kind of hard. But Walt's granddaughter took me in one of the carts, and we zipped around really fast through a lot of the cars. No time to really study them, but at least we zipped around a little bit. But it was a nice show, Walt.
Good.
Nice show. I mean, where can you go? You see tractors, semi-trucks, cars, motorcycles, old engines, a display of old engines. I mean, that's what makes Chino so special. is
Everything but boats.
Everything but boats. You know, next you're going to get a requirement for boats or a request. Anyway, good show.
April 22nd next year. That's the date for the next corn feed.
Certainly is better than August, I'll tell you. April 22nd. We'll have to put that on our calendar. Okay, Anthony Arroyo, City Manager's report, please.
I have nothing to report this evening, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, City Attorney Galante.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll start off by saying I attended the corn feed run, and I was truly impressed. The quality and the types of vehicles that were there were really beyond my expectations, so great job on that. It's not often that the Supreme Court of the United States renders an opinion that is specific to cities, so I wanted to just highlight an opinion that came down yesterday. I found it very interesting to read. It's a very long opinion, as Supreme Court decisions typically are. It's the Shutterfeld versus City of Boston case, and what was interesting about it is that it sort of had to balance the First Amendment right to display symbols. In this case, it was the flag by an organization, Camp Constitution. They referred to it as the Christian flag in front of City Hall. The City of Boston essentially allowed private organizations to hold events and raise a flag in front of City Hall that symbolized their particular organization. When this organization that represented a Christian group sought to do that, the city really found itself in a conflict situation because government agencies are not supposed to take positions on religion. It's the Establishment's Clause, and so the decision by city officials was not to allow that flag because the concern was violating the Establishment's Clause. So the Supreme Court of the United States essentially found that to be a violation of the First Amendment rights because to the extent you open up the forum for expression of, in this case, symbols or the messages of an organization, you can't look at what that message says and decide that some are okay and others are not. Within some bounds, if it's obscene or profane, there are Supreme Court cases that limit that. But in this case, the Supreme Court said you opened it up, city, for expression of private views, and in this case, the displays, you have to open it up to all. So I thought that was an interesting case, and it's a little bit of a lesson to cities if they do wish to open up the opportunity for flying whatever types of flags. I know some cities have flown pride flags or various organization flags. It's a little bit of a message that
Interesting.
renders a policy decision with that. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Chief Simmons, police report.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the council. A couple of things I want to share. On this Friday, May 6th, we're hosting a DUI checkpoint in the city. Again, we just encourage people, don't drink and drive. You don't need to anymore. You've got Uber and other options available, but if you do, you risk being caught and prosecuted. Additionally, on May 17th, Inland Hills Church is hosting a panel discussion for people suffering from mental illness, and representatives from the Chino Community Services and the Chino Police Department Crisis Intervention Team and our partners at San Bernardino County Behavioral Health will be participating along with the school district and NAMI. So unfortunately, that occurs at the same time as the next council meeting, but for those who are inclined to participate in that, I encourage them to at 6:30 on May 17th.
That's at their church?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And then our 2021 annual report has been published, and that's now on our website, so people can find our annual report on our website. Encourage people to take a look at that, see the great things that the men and women of the Chino Police Department did in 2021. And then lastly, I just wanted to echo Mayor Pro Tem Lucio's comments regarding women leaders. As a father of 2 daughters, very proud of my daughters and the leaders they're becoming. But I also want to compliment you, Mayor Ulloa, as one of the toughest leaders I know. A week ago, you had hip replacement surgery, and you're up here running a meeting. Very impressive, and I hope your healing continues to go well.
Thank you, Wes.
Karen, have a question for us?
Yes, wait, Wes. Karen has a question.
Wes, can you cover the retirement you're celebrating on Thursday?
Yes, Sergeant Kendall MacGyver will be retiring this Thursday after 34 years of service with the city of Chino. He started as a police cadet, made his way up to a reserve police officer, and then, of course, all the way up to a sergeant. So we're excited to honor him for his service, and he's looking forward to that.
Thank you, Chief.
Fire Chief Williams.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. In the area of recruitment for the fire district, we're happy to announce that we have 8 firefighter paramedics in backgrounds. Always impressed at the candidate pool that we are able to attract. We have several that are captains, one that is getting ready to be a battalion chief at his current employer, and he's coming to start over here as a firefighter paramedic. So that's the kind of talent that we're continuing to attract. We also are poised to hire 2 new mechanics. That's new for the organization. And like we've always said, if you can't get the equipment to the call, then we can't provide the services that we desire. So we're excited. We have 11 applicants in that area, and that's actually fairly robust for those 2 positions. They're very, very specialized to be able to work on large equipment like that. We're happy also to announce that this coming Monday I'll be bringing on our new finance director, very highly qualified and very, very happy to have him. We continue to reach out for an HR director, so we'll continue to work through that. In the area of response, we continue to keep 1 ambulance intact in a contractual agreement with the local private ambulance through the end of May. And so we'll keep making that request as long as we can until at a much higher level they decide what direction they're going to go. We do have 1 apparatus out, and this is a fact. It's called Las Vegas, New Mexico. I didn't even know there was such a thing. But we do have one of our apparatuses, a large fire going on in New Mexico, and we do have some personnel and equipment out there, and they are currently safe. In the area of presentations, the council had asked in the past about presentations. I'll be working with your staff to bring forward a presentation on emergency communication nurse system here in the near future. Really, it's just an enhancement to the 911 service, and it's something that the community is going to need to be able to absorb, understand what it is. It's really intended to be a concierge level of service, but if you don't know about it, it could be a little bit confusing, as many new programs are. And as a member of the Chino Del Rotary, I'd like to say thank you for your donation. Those funds really did get used in a really good way. Last night, I attended their fundraiser, their large fundraiser that they have, which is the Bingo de Mayo, and the Chino Del Rotary did donate back to the Chino Valley Fire Foundation $2,500, and that those funds go directly back into the community in our Heart Safe and Bleed Safe program. So a business in the community will be able to receive an AED all the training that goes along with that, so that we just got to number 34, I believe, last week on how many people have survived from cardiac arrest due to the efforts of our personnel. We're at number 34 now since 2017. So we have one more defibrillator, thanks to donations like Councilman Flores and Chino Del Rotary. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for being here this evening. Walt, thank you for reminding everybody about the National Day of Prayer. It will be held at noon here on City Hall steps. I can't recall which church is going to lead the praise. Do you remember? No. Anyway, there will be a praise time, singing time led by one of our local churches, and then various pastors from our Valley community will be leading prayers. Happy Mother's Day also to everyone. That's coming up Sunday. I hope you all have a really great time. And then all, please remember Dre in your prayers and her family. The next meeting of the City Council will be a Civic Center Master Plan Update Workshop on Tuesday, May 10th at 4 p.m. in these council chambers, with the next regular meeting of the City Council being held on Tuesday, May 15th at 7 o'clock, with closed session at 6 o'clock if necessary. With that, we are adjourned.